You say you haven't told anybody till now, but that the big spring is not totally dead.
Right now, if you threw a stick out on west side, it takes less than a minute for that stick to get to the east side. So I don't know what kind of flow that is, but there is a little bit of flow right now.
Okay, so tell me about the renovation that's underway now.
The project's in two phases. First one is the redevelopment of the historical spring area itself. We've taken the old parking out, and that is going to be more of an educational amphitheater now. The CCC was brought in to build that state park. We're trying to mimic the same techniques whenever possible. So the plaza and amphitheater area is going to be taking the viewer back, beginning with the Permian Sea and coming all the way up to present. We're going to be explaining why the spring is there from a geological standpoint, and then start getting into the historical perspective of the spring well before Europeans were ever on site. Signage that are going to be on the side of 8 monolithic stones, 26,000 pounds apiece. 50 to 60 benches that are being hand-hewn out of limestone. We're going to reestablish a native shortgrass prairie, which originally would have been on site, say, 500 years ago. An area where a couple of observation platforms that people can actually go out, and there'll be some signage explaining what they're looking at, and a whole lot of detail about some of the personalities and the people that have come through there specifically. 18 different names that are going to be featured, major players in the area. Only about 4 of those are 20th century.
One of the stories is Cabeza de Vaca came through here, and Dallas Morning News documented it. Cabeza de Vaca followed what he thought was a tributary of the Colorado River, was starving, came across a spring at the headwaters of what he thought was the Colorado River at the time, was befriended by Indians who fed him and clothed him, and he in turn held an impromptu blessing, a Thanksgiving. That was 80 years before the Pilgrims had their Thanksgiving ceremony at Plymouth Rock. So if that documentation is true, that's the first Thanksgiving site in the New World.
We couldn't find any Comanche that would do it, but we found Sioux that would recreate, and we're going to have 3 abandoned teepees. We're attempting to have a trail system in that shortgrass prairie that we pulled off an old petroglyph that is actually a turtle, and the turtle was a symbol with the Native Americans of good fortune in water. And so the trail system is going to be laid out 181 feet long and 160 feet wide, and when viewed from above, it is the reproduction of the petroglyph. It's the turtles. Theoretically, when you're flying into Midland, Odessa on Southwest and you look down, you'll be able to see this, certainly from Google Earth and things like that. The first base is about 1.8 mil. I think Big Spring has an opportunity here to really land a 1-2 punch in a way that it hasn't done. It's going to give visitors a stop off of I-20, or if you're staying at the Settles or whatever, it's going to give people another reason to spend a little bit of time there. It's going to be a good probably hour to 2 hour venture by the time you walk out there and go through everything. And so what we're hoping is between that and then having the destination quality Settles Hotel and restaurant there, the city can really kind of start re-identifying itself. It'll end up having 2 iconic features.